Hi, this is Tanya, the Lady Strange. Welcome to another weekly collective energetic reading for the week of February 8th of 2026 to February 14th of 2026. Yes, my readings end on Saturdays. I go Sundays to Saturdays. That's how I read. That's how I'm guided. Also, that's Valentine's Day. We're already starting towards mid-February already. Again, as I always say, where's the time going? So with that being said, this reading is just energetic. It is circumstances, energies, interactions that you may interact with or interact with you, as everything is relative and relevant in this life. Um, Even singular experiences have outside, lots internal. Internal affects the outward affects the inward. We affect each other, as does this world and this life experience. And so, with that being said, the reading this week, I already pulled cards in the manner of time and how I am guided to do my readings and how my practice and magic comes about. So, I'm connected, so this is a little out there, and in the sake of trying not to be so rambly or discombobulated. So, the crystal this week that stepped forth is a rare crystal. So, many of you may not have this unless you are a crystal collector or been collecting like myself for about almost 30 years, give or take. So, yes, probably longer because of things I actually found in my own backyard when I was a teen and a kid of Herkimer diamonds and other crystals. But yeah, so I've been a collector, a connoisseur of different crystals, their beauties, their aesthetic, but also most of all the energies they have, how they interact with each other, my past, what they teach me with, what I can bring in, what it helps to release, and most of all guidance. It's another beautiful tool and tool, should I say, that I am blessed to have. I have accumulated on that. Um, and again, each our own, whether our collections are really extensive or small, it's all relevant and it's all abundance and it's what works for you just as what works for me. So the crystal this week, as I'm saying, is going to be being heavily channeled. So yes, but so the crystal this week, no wonder, is cathedral quartz. Now, cathedral quartz is obviously a form of quartz, so you can use if you do not have cathedral quartz, you never heard of it, it's inaccessible to you. It can be a bit expensive at points besides its rarity. Comes from Brazil. I've had this and got this years ago. I'm thinking 12 to 15 years. I don't know. I've only worked with it on a handful of times. I've had it around, but actually worked with it. So this is what called to me this morning. Before I did the reading, as I was starting to do my morning connection for this weekly collective, and from whom this may resonate with, as I'm part of this collective. So, yes. So, whom this may apply to, and if it doesn't apply to you, that's fine. Um, Again, messages come, messages go. It's what may apply or have a nugget of truth. Experience what you can connect or what you can discern and say no. That's also the message of this crystal, discernment. Now, what makes cathedral quartz is kind of hard to see with the lighting because I have turned my light off, but whatever. Um, so there's little crystals. So you have a central point here, which means pointing upwards. That's going to be relevant to the message, along with these crystals going up, these crystal formations all around the whole thing, as you can see, like little spires. So it is a message this week, and this is considered a library crystal. What that means is it holds wealth of knowledge, wealth of universal knowledge and spiritual knowledge that we can all tap into no matter what our practice is, whether we're magical and spiritual practitioners, whether we're just human beings and men and women and how we identify in this life and what we see, experience, and what we're taught, what we learn, and what we guide others. But this is library. So that means this carrying this or embodying this energy. Again, you don't have it, you can use a regular quartz. Quartz is programmable. You regular clear quartz, you can make it whatever you want to be. That's the pleasure, the joy, and the resourcefulness. But Embodying the energies of the cathedral courts this week is sanctity, and that's the sanctity of knowledge, not sanctity of the Abrahamic religions as or what we're taught or ingrained in, or what school, college, university may have taught us, or the constructs of society. It's what is your inner knowledge? What is my inner knowledge? What are we looking to continue to learn? How is our soul guiding us? How is our human life experiences, perceptions, and perspectives are? What have we learned that we apply? What we have learned from others and taught ourselves? What has worked and no longer works and serves, but what is? What is a new spin on things? It's honoring yourself. It's honoring those around you and those circumstances that learning from your experiences, the good, the bad, and the ugly. That which you don't want to acknowledge, that which you may have suppressed and repressed. Things might surface because, again, the continuous path of life itself and life becoming more difficult, and that's going to be part of the message this week. You can find enlightenment, whether you find it above, below, or both in between, like myself. Find a connection. I just find connection with the darker aspects, but to hold darkness, you must have a certain amount of light, or vice versa. Everything's a balance. So this week is telling you learn with what you want to, continue to learn. There's a reason you're being guided to learn what you have been embarking on. Learn from your past. Don't let it define you. If certain things come up from your past, those may be things to deal with that will need to be wrapped up and bring and teach this week. But most of all, teach yourself and teach others. Hold yourself in your life experience, no matter how difficult and challenging, and what it's bringing to the forefront in your interactions and what you may or may not have and what you might have to do and face and challenge. Again, there's always reverence there. Um, Honor yourself, honor your path, honor your relationships. Obtain and know thyself and find thy wisdom. Life is wisdom, experience is wisdom. Everything has something to learn, as they say. And assess what you are being guided with. Your guides are guiding you. That's what it's saying. And those that you have loved that may have passed, whether they're people or they're animals, they guide you too. Everything guides. So, um, so yes. And with that being said, I'm just going to read the message as it comes and present the cards as they come. So, this is the central message in energies, which is very applicable to that message that there may be very challenging energies this week. Now, this last week was opposition as the key central message. There was a lot of oppositions, at least for myself, which I have a lot of tower. That's what comes with evolution, enlightenment, and life itself. But basically, it's not opposition this week with others or circumstances in the inner world with the outer. This week is going to be a lot more about our own challenges, our inner world, our minds, our constructs, our beliefs. What do we need to put to rest finally? What do we need to face that we're not facing or have been acknowledging or kind of sweeping under the carpet? We know it's there. It's right in front of us. It's present, but you say, in an hour or two we'll deal with it. Tomorrow, next week, next month, 10 years from now, that goes by. Something we've never dealt with or interlaces and affects. So the key message and the key that's going to help us to get through the energy that's going to be going, I'm going as I'm being guided and being flowed towards, is the stand. So this is from the Earth and Bone Oracle by Syrian Shadows. So this card, as you can see the message at the bottom, of course, is saying that there is going to be a central need for this collective and whom this message may be meant for or resonates with, that You need to stand in your sovereignty. You need to stand in what is your truth from what you have learned and experienced and what you interpret and your perspective. What is right for you, not what others have taught you. Not others know this. That's fine to integrate and take the nuggets from. But to stand for what is right for you, what you know to be inherently right, and what you have discerned and continue to discern. That is also about courage. It says courage, determination, and fearlessness. So, of course, this collective is very courageous, very determined. That's why you're watching this. You have courage, you have strength, the will to change, the will to honor, the willing to do the hard work and to face the hard truths and experiences of your present, your past, your future, and just the day to day. Because the day to day is very hard and is only getting harder, but it's how we react and respond and being knowledgeable and resourceful and of course, being supportive of ourselves and each other that truly matters. Our own kingdom, as they say. A lot's going to be still continuing and has been bubbling up from the surface last week, but a lot of it, again, is internal opposition. Something needs to be released and let go. Or maybe many things, small things. It could be many things, many conjunctive things. That's the message. But since you, this collective, yourselves, and myself, and very courageous determination, we need to be fearless. Embrace more fearlessness. Fear has got to stop overruling. And with that being said, as part of the message that goes with that and the overall message, as you see from the Haunted Man Oracle, also by Syrian Shadows, is basically, it is saying to silence your inner demons. So that's where that goes with not only that, but also the message that's going to come here with these two things. So you have this, if you want to relook at it again. So silence your inner demons. That's it, your critic, your inner critic. Where did your inner critic come from besides your own self and conditioning? Who is your inner critic and who's ruling over you truly? Is it a parent? Is it a family member? Is it religion, an ingrained religion? Is it teachers? Is it what society is telling you? Is it what someone has told you and taught you? Is it your partner? Is it your own self? Is it conjunctive of both? What has fed your inner demon, and why do you continue listening to it? Because here's why. The more you keep letting self-defeating thoughts, as you can see with this ritual tarot here by Tiara May, I'm using it again this week, as I did last week, if you want to check out that reading, because I do believe this is a somewhat continuation of that, as many things are. That's how life is, cyclical. So this Five of Swords, you can see being pierced centrally. It's thoughts, overthinking, overwhelming, crippling thoughts, anxieties which are fed by those thoughts, and how anxieties feed those thoughts. How it impedes our logic and sometimes our ability, how our feelings can also roll over our head without having a clear perception. What do you need to think of, and what do you need to of thoughts? How are you living in yourself and your circumstances? What thoughts keep resurfacing? Maybe you just need to sit with them, acknowledge them, journal about them, just let them go, process them, or make the steps needed. But with that being said, self-defeat is coming from self-limiting thoughts and perspectives and perceptions from others and what you've been taught. Break free. That's what that is. Do not let the inner demon saying that I can't do this, I'm not strong enough, courageousness, or oh my gosh, this is gonna really happen and destroy everything if this small thing does. Hey, the cards will fall as they do. Yes, everything has consequences and repercussions, but accountability is the main thing, and learning. And that's why also this Five of Wands is conjunctive, and this has to do in conjunctive to the limiting beliefs. Five of Wands is about challenging and opposition, much like last week's message. That's why I'm saying go back and watch that if you feel so inclined. Is but this is also having the fire. So that's the courage and the determination to break through. So because this collective, and this may not just apply to me, it could apply to me, but it may resonate with one or some of you who's watching this, is the people pleaser. Stop being a people pleaser and being showing up, whether it's for others, your job, your career, society, your family members, or most of all, for those just around you that don't agree with you. Stop fighting a battle that shouldn't be a battle any longer. Use that energy and redelegate it to be in opposition to what no longer works, and in opposition to constructs that do not serve you, thoughts, beliefs, and teachings, and indoctrination. It's more about finding your own truth and using that. Now, again, we got to live by rules of the government and society, jobs, things we have to know. It's not that. It's about competition, the competition of life, but the competitions we create. How do we face up? So the Five of Wands can either be defeating and like that, or yeah, spirits in the house or something. And of course, or it could be a challenge with others, but how can you challenge your own thoughts, feelings, and your habits, and what you need to release to evolve? As we are still in that cyclical thing, as I mentioned. And lastly, how you can do that, along with having the courage and silencing your inner demons, acknowledging its inner demons' voices, but silencing them and telling them, I'm clever enough. This is the Seven of Swords. This can have multiple meanings, as do all cards and two different sides of the coin, but this Seven of Swords, you see they have the upper hand. So this is using your thought, your wit, your library of knowledge, the knowledge you've acquired in this life, you have learned and taught yourself, and those that really mattered and impacted you, but also what you hold inherently in your soul from your evolution. If you're like myself that believes in incarnation and past lives, those nuggets and glimmers may come up more or less, or might be part of the experience. That might be why you have some inner demons or things that maybe your soul is trying to address in this particular life and circumstances. Be quick-witted. Use your knowledge. Work with the knowledge. Find the knowledge. There's infinite resources of different knowledge and guidance in this. But you can be the victor by being a step ahead, by looking and just embracing whom you are in your experience and validating those experiences of others. Just thinking. Maybe my hearing aid acting up, who knows? Sorry. Okay, so with that being said, time to stop silencing stop listening to the inner demon, silence them. You can acknowledge them, befriend them. The inner demon is potentially your shadows and what has not been understood, or those aspects of yourself that yet need to come to the light and are a part of you and not to be shunned. Um, fears, truthful ones, and not so truthful, illusions and reality, but all should be integrated in. Light and dark. Do not let living continue to have the limited beliefs, thoughts, especially those of others that may be truly or were never yours to hold on to. So don't use those thoughts to think that you can't do something, or that you will not do something, or you cannot find your own way, because you can. You have resources. There's always resources out there. You have those in your life, whether they are people or whether they're spirits, magical, whatever it might be, the universe itself, or those you love and care about. So, yes, be the opposition to what doesn't work, but follows constructs and rules as need be, but most of all, learn. Use your courage and determination and strength. So if you resonate with this or have any thing you would like to add or share or convey about this, or how maybe previous messages have resonated with you, please feel free to comment. I would appreciate you also liking and subscribing to the channel if you feel inclined, as it helps the algorithm and my messages get to whom they want to on a wider level, as I believe on that I have something to add of value, as many do others, as I always say. And of course, what's most of all, have an empowered, effective week and stay strange.